Hello all dear participants. Myself Archana Sogule, Assistant Professor from Information Technology Department. My college name is Shah and Anchor Kutch Engineering College. Today I am going to discuss about one more topic during this online internship program. My topic name is IoT Application Protocols. So in this video I am going to discuss about most important and most popular IoT application protocol. First one is the MQTT, which stands for Message Queuing Telemetry Transfer Protocol, and the second one is a CoAP. The long form of the CoAP is Constant Application Protocol. So first we will discuss about MQTT protocol. So when we go for the MQTT protocol, this is an overview of the MQTT protocol, where we can see that MQTT protocols connected with different devices which are connected in the networks for the IoT applications. So remember that MQTT is one of the most commonly used protocol in IoT applications. When we go for the MQTT, okay, first we will discuss about brief introduction about MQTT. The first thing is that the MQTT widely used for machine-to-machine communication. So it is also called the machine-to-machine or M2M connectivity protocol before it's coming to communicate with the IoT application devices. This protocol first invented by Dr. Andy Stanford Clark of IBM and Erlin Nipper of Acrom, now Eurotech, in 1999. But later on, in 2014, OASIS, what is the OASIS? Organization for the Advancement of Structured Information Standards, take over the MQTT protocol. It is also the ISO standards. We support the ISO IEC PRF 20922. Then it is a public and royalty free license, and it is used by various well-known companies like Amazon Web Services, IBM WebSphere MQ, Microsoft Azure IoT, Adafruits, and Facebook Messenger. Then we will discuss about brief history about MQTT protocol. If we see on the image, we can see that the first version of MQTT is v3.1, okay, which is developed by IBM and Eurotech. Then later on, just now we saw that OASIS take over the MQTT protocol, who developed the two different versions, okay, which are extension of version 3.1. The first version is v3 1.1, and now latest version of MQTT protocol is version number 5, that is v5.0. When we discuss about the history of MQTT, we will see in detail, okay, how the MQTT was developed and how we are using or which version we are using for the IoT application. The MQTT just now we saw is developed by Dr. Andy Stanford, who is from IBM, and Erlin Nipper. So this is a previous version, that is 3.1, and 3.1.1 is available under the MQTT org. But in 2014, MQTT was officially published by OASIS. So now the OASIS became the new home for the development of MQTT. Then OASIS started the further development of MQTT version, that is 3.1.1 is backward compatible with 3.1 and brought only minor changes such as changes to the connect the messages and clarification of the 3.1 version. When we go for the recent version of MQTT, that is 5.0, which is a successor of the previous version, that is 3.1.1, and now that version name is 5.0. So it is not the backward, it is compatible like version 3.1.1. So according to the specification of the 5.0, it has some features. The most two important features I listed down here. The first one is that enhancement in the scalability and the large scale system in order to set up with the thousands or the millions of devices. So nowadays we are connecting more and more devices in the networks for the IoT applications. So it having the scalability, okay, and which will be meet the requirements of today's requirement. And the second one is the improvement in the error reporting. What are the features of MQTT? So it is ideal if the processor or the memory resources are limited, which is a constraint definitely present in your IoT applications. Then it is based upon public subscriber model. So it is a publish and subscriber message exchange pattern it supports. It works on the top of TCP/IP protocol. So everyone know the TCP/IP protocol. Then it have the three different quality of services: at most once, at least one, and exactly once. We will see later on what it is. Then it supports the client libraries for Android, Arduino, C, C++, Java, JavaScript, and .NET. Then security. So authentication using the username and password. Then encryption using SSL and TLS is possible. Then persistence. So MQTT has support for the persistent messages which are stored on the broker, which really play very important role when you go for the live communication between different devices. Then MQTT SN protocol for sensor network work on the non-TCP/IP network. For example of that, Zigbee. Now, how the MQTT will be work? When we go for the MQTT, we know that is based upon the client and server model. Actually, when we are talking about the client and server, the one client we can see in the image is that the client can publish the data or another client can subscribe that data. So when we go for the MQTT server, it is called the broker. So the broker is a mediator between the publisher and the subscriber, means it is a mediator between the clients. So when we talk about the MQTT server, it is called the broker, and the client are simply the connecting devices. So different devices we can connect to the server, okay, and that server is now become the MQTT broker. When a client or device want to send the data to the broker, we can call this as a publish. That means we can call this client, if it's publishing data, sending the data to the broker, we call it a publisher. When device or the client want to receive the data from the broker, then we can call that device or that client as a subscriber. So whenever the client send the data to the broker, it becomes the publisher, and whenever client receive the data from the broker, it becomes the subscriber. Let us see one example. When we are saying that there is a devices, okay, so many devices are connected. So in the figure we can say that there are three different devices are connected to the server. So the server is now is a broker, and the three different devices are now is the clients. Now see that device has a temperature sensor, and certainly it want to send this reading to the broker. So one device is there would sense the temperature value, that is 21.3, and he want to send that data to the broker or to the server. So now it become the publisher. So it publish the data or it publish the message. On the other side, there is another applications. It may be the laptop or it may be the desktop. There is a two different clients who want to receive this temperature value. So now these two become the subscriber. Okay, so they subscribe the messages to the broker. So this is simple working of your MQTT protocol. Now we will see the main components of the MQTT architecture. So just now we seen the working of MQTT. So we know that there are 5 different main components of MQTT architecture. So the first one is a broker. So we know that the broker is a server who handle the data transmission between the different clients. Then topic. What is the topic? It is a place or device want to put or receive a message to or from. Then what is the message? Message is the data that device receives when subscribing from a topic or send when publishing to a topic. So it can be receive the message or it can be send the message. If the device sending the message, it become the publisher or it become the publish, and when device receiving the message, it become the subscribe or subscriber. Then publish is what? Is a process a device to send his message to the broker. So publisher will be send the message to the broker, that is nothing but your server. And then other devices that if they are receiving that messages, now it becomes the subscriber. So it is very simple to remember that MQTT architectures have the 5 different components. Broker is a server, okay, who is responsible to transfer the data between different clients. Then topic is a place, a device who want to put or retrieve the message to or from. Then message is the data that devices receive or send. So if the device is receiving the message, it becomes the subscriber from the broker, and if the device is sending the message to the broker, it becomes the publisher. Now next is what? What is the message format of the MQTT? So in the diagram, we can see that we have the MQTT message format. So when we go for the top, we can see there is a 8 bytes. Okay, there is a MQTT fixed header. Okay, then we have the optional variable length header, and then last we have the optional variable length message payload. So when we look in the message format of the MQTT, again the MQTT fixed header field divide into 4 different parts. The 0, 1, 2, 3, that is the first 4 bytes of the message type. Then the next 5th byte, that is for indicate the DUP duplication. 5th and 6th, okay, field or the bits are reserved for quality of services levels, and the last 8 bit is a retained. Okay, so the first 2 bytes are used by most of the message types. First 2 bytes are normally used by most of the message types, and few of the message types use a variable header and the payload. So always remember that when we talk about the message format of MQTT, it divides into 3 different parts. The first is the MQTT fixed header, second is the optional variable length header, and the third is again optional, that is a variable length message payload. And again in the MQTT fixed header is divided into 4 different parts. It is a 8 bits. Okay, first 4 bits indicate the message type, next bit indicate the duplicate, then 5th and 6th bit indicate the quality service levels of the messages of MQTT, and the last bit indicate the retain. Now here I mentioned some MQTT protocol message exchanges between the client and the broker. So when the messages are exchanged between the client and the broker, okay, what are different type of the MQTT messages are there? The first we can see that the connect. What does that indicate? The connect message type means what? The client to server message. Okay, the client sending the message to the broker, and then client request to the connect to the server. So when the client want to communicate with the server, okay, he want to make the connections with the server or the broker, we can say. So it send the request to the server. That is called the connect message. Then server send the message to the client. That is the connect acknowledgement. So connect ACK indicate the connect acknowledgement from the server or the broker to the client. Then publish message type. What the publish message indicate? That client is sending this message to the server or server to the client, which publish the messages. Okay. So when we are publishing means when we are sending the messages, okay, from the client to the server or from the server to the client. That's called the publishing of the message. Then publish acknowledgement. Client to the server or the server to the client is give the publish acknowledgement message. Then what is next message? Client to the server or the server to the client is a publish received. So once the publish message is received, it will give the acknowledgement of this. Then client to server or server to client publish release. Now it will be release that messages. Okay. Then next is that pubcom. What is that? Client to server or server to client publish complete. So it indicates that this published message is completed. Then next you have the subscribe. Client to the server or the client subscribe request. So it will give the client message, send the message to the server he want to subscribe, okay, to receive the message from the server. Then sub acknowledgement, that is from server to client, that server will be send that acknowledgement to the subscribe message of the client. Then unsubscribe, client to the server, okay, if the client want to unsubscribe from that server, he send the request, okay, via this message unsubscribe. Then server to the client is the unsubscribe acknowledgement. When the client send that unsubscribe message to the server, server give the acknowledgement of this to the client. Then ping request, that is a message from the client to the server. Then ping response, server to the client, it gives the response to the ping message, okay, which is coming from the request of the client to the server. And lastly disconnect, that is client to the server, that means client is want to disconnect from the server, he don't want to make any communication between server and the client. So these are different MQTT message types which can be transferred between the client and the servers. Now we'll see the MQTT protocol architecture working operations. So now all these message types we see now. So how it will be take place between the client and the broker, that means between the client and the server. Now suppose the client want to communicate with the broker, definitely how to send the messages, okay, to the broker or the server. I will see some case study. So we can see in the diagram that client sending the connection message to the broker in server. Server giving the acknowledgement to the client one. Then that client will be subscribed to the broker, that means server. Then server again send the acknowledgement to the subscriber. Then broker will be publish the message, okay, to the client, and then client will be receive that publish the message, give the access to the broker. So what the case study one indicate that broker want to switch on and off the light connected with the remote client #1. So initially connection is established by the client #1 with the broker using connect and connect acknowledgement message. That means there is a connection to establish a connection between the client and the server or the broker. There is a two messages will be sent between the client and the server. That is the connect and connect acknowledgement. Once done this, what is the next is that the next broker communicate with the client #1 to switch on or off the light, okay, which are interfere with it. The message such as the published and the published react are used for it. This use case is used to switch on and off the street light in the Zigbee or the LoRaWAN network. So this is a very small application of the IoT applications where we want to make the communication between the client and the server to switch on and off the lights. So lights are usually connected with end nodes or end devices in this wireless network. So the single Zigbee or the LoRaWAN gateway control the multiple end nodes or multiple such gateways are needed to cover the entire city. What is the second case that indicate? The client #2 and client #3 want to update the temperature of humidity status to the broker based upon the sensors. So there are two clients are there, okay? Okay, they want to communicate to the broker, but he want to send the message, okay, from client 2 and client 3 to the broker. What the value they want to send? They want to send the message that they have the value of temperature. So what they indicate that the client 2 and client 3 will intimate the temperature or humidity update to the broker using publish message. So they will send the publish message, okay, then this information is stored in the database and will be sent to all the subscribers who have subscribed to these topics. That what they are sending actually in that message, temperature value and humidity value. This information is pushed to all the subscribed clients of the topics. If client has already subscribed for subscribing to the topics, that is temperature and humidity, it will get the information from the broker using push operation. So this use case is used for obtaining different types of sensing information automatically whenever there are many or any updates. For this purpose, different types of sensors, for example, humidity sensor, temperature sensors, we can interface with the end nodes. So these end nodes publish the information of any event update to the broker. So the broker intimates the changes to all the subscribers client. And then there is a communication take place between the gateways. So for this case study, what you understand that whenever the client take the message, okay, from the broker, okay, he need to make the connections, okay, and once it's connected, the client can subscribe and then broker can publish the message or send the message to the client. And if another client want to send his value to the broker or the server, we can say, so you can send the publish message and publish record message, okay. So there is a subscriber and there is a publisher. So here the client #1 is here is the subscriber, and client 2 and client 3 is the publisher who's publishing message to the server. And if the client 1 is already have the connections, is subscribed to the broker, whatever information giving by the client 2 and client 3, that message will be getted to the client 1 via the broker, means via the server. So this is simple case studies to understand the working of MQTT protocol. Then what are the MQTT message quality of service levels? There are three different types of MQTT message of quality of service levels. Okay, the level 0, level 1 and level 2. The first is the Atmos ones. What indicates the Atmos ones? The broker will only receive the publisher message Atmos once. Okay, that means broker will receive the message, okay, only once. Then at least once means what? Publisher is continuously send the message until it receive an acknowledgement from the broker. So this is most commonly used quality of service level. So in the first case, if there is no acknowledgement, broker will only receive the publisher message only one time. There is no acknowledgement at all. But at least one is what? When the publishers continuously send the message until it receives the acknowledgement from the broker. And this is most commonly used quality of service level for the MQTT communication protocol. And the last is exactly once, where the publisher and the broker work in tandem. Tandem means what? Consisting of the things or the having the parts which are arranged one behind the other. Okay. So to ensure that the subscriber receives the message exactly once. Okay. Here the subscriber will receive the message but only one, means exactly once. So it is the safest and the most guaranteed quality of service level, definitely, but it is a slow process. So it is used when it is really needed or necessary. So at most once, no acknowledgement, there is no guarantee of whether message is received or not. At least once, it will be received the message at least once. To get the acknowledgement, till it will be published, will be send the messages. And exactly once, will be send the message exactly once. Okay. But it is a safest and guaranteed quality service level, but it is slow. Because of that, it will be used when it is really needed or when it is really necessary. So these are three different quality service levels supported by MQTT messages. At most one, at least one, and exactly one. So here I shown diagrammatically how the quality of services work in the MQTT broker and MQTT client. So here quality of service level 0, quality of service level 1 and quality of service level 2, where you publish and it forgot it. Okay, so message is deleted, does not survive during the failures and no duplications. But in the quality of service level, at most once means what? Publish and we get the acknowledgement for the publish. So you have the message store, is survive connections loss and duplicate is possible here. And quality of service level 2 is what? Exactly once is what? Publish, then publish, record, then publish release and then publish completed. So once it is completed that, then it may be possible message is store or it will be survive connection loss, but there is no duplications. Okay, but conformly it will be sent the message, okay, from the server to the client. Now, why MQTT? Why not HTTP for IoT applications? Because we know that when you are going for the web application, HTTP, Hypertext Transmission Protocol, is most commonly used protocol to take place the communication between the different devices. But when you are going for the IoT, why we are going for MQTT? Why not HTTP? So I shown here some comparison, okay, with some parameters of MQTT and the HTTP. So first parameter I took here is that full form, okay, and the upper layer protocol, what they are using. So MQTT is what? Message Queuing Telemetry Transfer Protocol. And what is HTTP? Hypertext Transfer Protocol. When you talk about MQTT, is based upon TCP/IP, but HTTP is based upon TCP/UDP. Now, when you go for design methodology, MQTT is a data centric, whereas HTTP is a document centric. It's very important. Then, when you go for the architecture of MQTT, it's a publish subscriber model, and HTTP is based upon request response model. When you talk about the complexity, MQTT is very simple to understand. HTTP is a complex. When you talk about the message size, the size of MQTT is small with a compact binary header, just 2 bytes in the size, which are commonly used by most of the devices. And HTTP is large because status details text-based. It includes the status details also, which are based upon the text. Then when we talk about service levels, here are the 3 quality of service levels in MQTT, where in the HTTP, all messages get the same level of the services. Then data distributions 1 to 1, 1 to 0 and 1 to n also. In the MQTT, we can go for the communication between 1 to 1, 1 to 0 or 1 to n also, means 1 to many. But in HTTP, 1 to 1 communication is possible in the data distribution. And lastly, data security. Yes, it is encrypted payload. So it is possible to provide the security where we can encrypt the payload, okay, of your MQTT message. So it provides the security. But when I talk about the HTTP, no data are not encrypted before the transmissions. So here there is data is not encrypted when you want to transmission between client and server. So these are some parameters where we can see the difference between the MQTT and HTTP. And because of these parameters of MQTT, MQTT is the most popular for your IoT applications. Now when you go for the MQTT brokers, there are many brokers that implement the MQTT protocol. One of the most popular and commonly used broker is the Mosquitto broker. Okay, so Mosquitto is an open source message broker that implement the MQTT protocol. It is lightweight and suitable for use on all devices from low power singular boards like our Arduino, ESP8266 to the computers or the server. When you go for the cloud-based Mosquitto brokers, there are also many. Here I mentioned few: ThinkMQ, ThinkStudio, MQTT.io, ThinkSpeak or Cloud MQTT. when you go for the cloud MQTT broker, okay, I mentioned here some steps how we can go for the cloud MQTT broker. So cloud MQTT is one of the best and easiest cloud-based mosquito broker. How to use a cloud MQTT broker? Go to the cloud MQTT and register an account. So we need registrations there. Once we register on the cloud MQTT, we have the account. You have to press on the plus sign which create a new instance. It will give the green button to get an instance of the MQTT based mosquito cloud broker that cloud MQTT offers. So instance is you have to create a new instance in this case once you have the account. What is the next step? Write the broker instance name. You can give any name for the broker instance name like my MQTT broker instance and press create the new instance. So you have to create the new instance there. Then I have created the broker instance before and named it try. So once I created that, what is my name of that? Try. But on your account, you will find only the one you have created. So you can press on its name to see the details. So once you created that, you have to click or press on its name to see the details of it. If you click on that, you will find the authentication details that the devices will need to connect to your broker. But in these details, we are interested only in the first four parameters, which include the server name, username, password, and the port name. Okay. Others are support your security. SSL port is provide the security, and TLS will support the security. So the cloud MQTT offers a pretty feature which is the WebSocket. Okay. UI that allow you to monitor and publish and subscribe the happens within this broker. So you can show that it is connecting to the MQL cloud MQTT, send the message or receive the message. So when we want to send the message, you have to write the topic and you have to mention the message and then you have to send. Okay, so WebSocket UI. Once you click on the WebSocket UI, you will get this screen on your system. Then you have to write the topic name, write the message name, then click on the send. Then it will be receive the message, okay, by the another. Once you receive the message, okay, that is the topic and message, okay, it will be show that connected and then it's connecting to the cloud MQTT broker. So WebSocket UI allow you to monitor and publish and subscribe the happens within this broker. There are many apps there for connecting the smartphones to a broker and using it to publish and subscribe for the topics. Okay, here I mentioned one link, okay, where they shown that how to monitor the temperature and humidity over the ThingSpeak using the Node MCU. So you can click on this link and you can watch the video to understand how we can publish temperature and humidity value using the broker on the ThingSpeak. These are the references and thank you.